Hi there, and welcome to another Wine Steward video. It's great to pretend I'm seeing you once again and to bid you Happy Easter. That is this Sunday, and we're getting ready at the Wine Steward. We have lots of great wines to tell you about that we think are appropriate for the holiday. We have lots of great wines besides that, whether or not they're Easter appropriate. So basically, get your butt in here and get some wine from the Wine Steward, your local downtown wine shop. What we'd like to say is, besides wine, we have some great cheese here for you, and this is a newly returned cheese called burrata. Burrata is a beautiful cheese made in southern Italy. This particular one is made in Puglia. It's kind of hard to see based on the packaging, so let's more appropriately identify it with this sign here. So this is burrata. You can see the spelling now, and many of you are already in love with this stuff, and you've been saying, where is it? You used to have it on the wine bar menu, and last fall I was buying it like crazy and having it with my fresh tomatoes. Well, we gave it a little bit of time off. There's nothing like not having something for a while to make you more hungry for it, right? So burrata was given a break. It's back. This is, once again, Puglia, Italy. It's flown over here. Costs a little bit more than some of the domestic stuff, but this is the original stuff, and it is better, I think. So get in on burrata. We brought in 10 units of this for shipment, and we're not putting it on the wine bar menu yet, so you can't have it upstairs yet, but you can take it home for Easter brunch. How about that, burrata? And why not color up your cheese platter with maybe some other like Easterish colors? Here's your sage Derby again, now that I'm pronouncing it correctly. And here is, I think, aged Gouda, but look, you got some green and white and orange going on. How Easterish. And, you know, if you could just turn your background lighting pink, then you'll have it all figured out. Okay, so that tells you about a new cheese that's back in town. It's not new, it's an old friend come back. And now I want to tell you about the Washington State event that we had last night. Why am I telling you about an event that's already gone by? Why promote such a thing? Because we're going to redo it. Last night filled up quickly, giving us the bravery, the gumption to offer a second evening of Washington State wine. So once again, we will put this in front of you. This is next Tuesday, by the way, and there are some seats left. It's filling fast too. We have 17 people signed up. I'd like to get it to 26. But you 26 happy few will be able to enjoy a second round, second try of Washington State wines, including Cimbal Sauvignon Blanc. I tabulated the orders from last night this morning, and I was happily surprised. I was so gratified to see that the people who came last night bought over $1,000 worth of a Sauvignon Blanc, a Washington State Sauvignon Blanc, of which most people had never even heard until they came that night. They had it. This is not inexpensive, but man, they said, that is perhaps one of the greatest Sauvignon Blancs we've ever had. And it sure played last night. So Cimbal will be back. This is made by the Long Shadows people. The Long Shadows Winery has a very, very cool story that we will retell tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, next Tuesday night. How about that? This is another wine that we'll be showing, also from Long Shadows. We're going to have two winery themes that night. We'll show about 15 wines. 5 of them will come from Long Shadows Winery, and about 5 or so from another winery called The Walls. This is called Saggi from Long Shadows. It's based on Sangiovese. You could call it a Washington State Super Tuscan. And if that makes no sense whatsoever, we will clarify next Tuesday night if you sign up. All right, how about another wine from the Washington State event from last night? And for the event of the future, this is Curiositas Cabernet from a producer called The Walls. And we're going to have, that's going to be the other focus winery. We're going to have about 5 wines from The Walls, including this special project they do. This will be the end of the evening treat where we're going to have 3 wines that have never been shown in California before. This is also made by The Walls, but as you can see by the distinctive shape, they want to have a kind of a slightly different marketing promotion for this more special upper crust wine. So this is going to be called Paksha, and it involves Grenache in one bottle, Mourvedre in another, and finally a Syrah. They're all gorgeous, gorgeous wines. They come in 3 packs. They're very, very hard to get, and in fact, so hard to get that I don't think you're ever going to see them out there. We at the Wine Steward are going to be nearly exclusive in California with this very, very special stuff from Washington State. Yet another reason to sign up now for that event next Tuesday night, 6:30. All right. Like I said, last time I looked, there were 8 seats remaining. Pretty cool. Well, we have arranged a wine bar menu that is replete with Easter wines. Beautiful, beautiful wines that go one way or the other somehow with different things that you might be enjoying, whether it's lamb or ham or marshmallow peeps this Easter? Well, I forgot to put this on. This is the perfect Easter wine because Easter, of course, is a celebration of spring, flowers, eggs, resurrection, and let's just say it, fertility. And let's just say that this bottle from Franken, Germany, that is filled with delicious Sylvaner. Have you ever had a delicious Sylvaner? I mean, frankly, Sylvaner does not usually transcend anything beyond like mundane and okay. But the best Sylvaner in the world, arguably, comes from Franken, Germany. And they are so proud of their Sylvaner that they have a signature or proprietary regional bottling or bottle shape for it. This is meant to resemble something that I probably shouldn't put onto YouTube. We may be kicked off if I do. But let's just say it's very fitting for Easter, all right? Basically, it's meant to resemble the scrotum of a goat. There, I said it. Yes, this is a Boxbeutel, that's what you call it. Or you could call it der Gotenschrot. I don't speak German, but I'm making things up now. This, let's just say, if you're not sickened by everything I've just said, that's true. That's I don't know about those people in Franken, Germany. I've never met them, but I can tell you that they make fantastic Sylvaner and put it in a very cool, very Easter-oriented bottle. All right, so don't be squeamish. If you are a little ashamed to walk into the store or walk out of the store with a Boxbeutel in your fist, then we are happy to discreetly wrap it in a brown paper bag for you. How about that? So, you should try this wine and giggle a little. All right, wine's supposed to be fun. All right. Now, how about the wine bar theme at long last? Very, very Easter sparkling wine. You know, we do a sparkling wine every week on this menu, but there's nothing more Easterish, especially at brunch time, than Prosecco. For some reason, that's really taken off. People make the Bellini, you know, where you put a little fruit juice into the sparkling. I don't think you want to do that with a more better Prosecco like this one. This is transcendent Prosecco. That's actually vintage, and that doesn't happen very often yet. But this is from Valdobbiadene, a certain more special part of the region of Prosecco in northeast Italy, and it's delicious. It does not cost the price is not down there in the low teens. This one is more in the mid 20s, but I think you can tell a difference. All Prosecco is meant to be joyful and have a beautiful texture to it. This is more dignified. It's more place or site specific in its making. And how often do you get to try vintage Prosecco? That's pretty cool. So get into this sparkling wine of the week. It's by Andreola. You don't even see that on the front label, but look at the pretty bottle. Okay, come up and have some of this, and you will get in the Easter mood. I am. Okay, the white flight. So this kind of overlaps with what we did last night. If you can't make it to the Washington State event, and if you didn't get to come last night, you still get to have one or two wines, well, at least one, that were featured. Here is a wine that so many people liked. We're going to tell you about the white flight now, and this is white number 1. What was interesting when I put this particular flight together is that I, once again, didn't necessarily start with the leaner and more refreshing and zingy wines and build up to the big wines. I wanted, once again, to send your palate on a bit of a roller coaster ride. Bigger, and then all of a sudden, more refreshing, and then bigger, and so on. So I think it makes for a very exciting tasting flight if you don't do it so conventionally all the time. So here is a wine from DeLille Cellars, big favorite of mine up in Washington State. This is a wine called Chaleur Blanc. I love what they said on the back. The first line says, "The world has plenty of Chardonnay." This is not Chardonnay, obviously. It's going to be made of Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. Those are the two grapes that are most often employed to make a white wine in Bordeaux. And so this is a very Bordeaux honoring white wine. Great stuff every year. We've been carrying it forever, and they loved it last night. So why don't you try it too and fall in love? Beautiful Bordeaux Blanc style wine from Washington State, DeLille Cellars. Next wine is going to be from a producer called Lapili. This is a producer in Campania, Italy, near Naples, and the grape itself is called Greco di Tufo. Greco di Tufo. Here in this area, you have white wines made of Falanghina and Fiano di Avellino, and Greco di Tufo is one of the better white wines that you can have from the area. This wine from Lapili is actually going to be featured in our White Wine Club next week. White Wine Club members, if you can't wait till then, come on in and try it now. Lapili, Greco di Tufo. So that's a little leaner, a little more lush and refreshing. Now we're going to go to something bigger. very exciting to be able to have once again in our store a 7-year. 7-year is not the name of the grape. I know it sounds like a grape, but 7-year is in fact a location in the Loire Valley of France where they grow perhaps the best Chenin Blanc in the whole damn world. And I am saying that honoring the fact that right nearby is Saumur and Vouvray and Mont-Louis-sur-Loire. They all make fantastic Chenin Blanc. But this could be, in fact, this place, smaller place, that's why we don't see very much of it. Savennier is haunting. It has haunting qualities, let's just say that. I really love this wine, 100% Chenin Blanc, which we often call the best grape in the world. And we got 3 cases and it's moving fast, so get in on it. The next white wine in the flight, we've gone to a richer, not dry, not sweet, but a richer Chenin Blanc mouthfeel. We're gonna go to something lean again, okay? So this takes us to Alto Adige in northern Italy. This is also called Sud Tirol or South Tyrol. North Tyrol would be just up north of here in Austria. And this used to, in fact, be part of the Austro-Hungarian Republic, and so you still see street signs and such in German and Italian. And that's why you see a bottle shaped like this, because it kind of remembers the German style bottle shape. And you must be thinking, okay, I'm in for a Pinot Grigio here. No, you're not. These guys make very nice Pinot Grigio, but we thought we would show you something more interesting, and this is Sauvignon. Now, all they're calling it is Sauvignon, but it is obviously Sauvignon Blanc. And I love Northern Italian Sauvignon Blancs. They are exotic. They keep me interested in that grape. You will really get off on this. I can't wait to see what you think, all right? Great Sauvignon Blanc from Alto Adige or Sud Tirol. You'd be correct by using either the Italian or the German place name when you refer to that location in northern Italy. The next wine and the final wine in the white flight. You know, Sauvignon has such an assertive attitude, even though it's not a big wine and fat. It has so much spunk, you could say, that you really probably have to have a cracker or a little sip of water or something to prepare your palate for this. This is a bigger wine, but it's not as assertive, it's not as exotic as that Sauv Blanc we just had. So just keep that in mind as you have this final wine. This is from Saint-Véran in Macon in Burgundy in France. That's a lot of places, right? But they're like concentric rings. But this is from a single vineyard called Les Maillettes, and it is 100% Chardonnay as done in Burgundy, so more discreet than perhaps many of the California ones. And a lot of people who've said, I'm through with Chardonnay, we show them a white Burgundy and they're not through yet. They're back into the variety because this is more elegant and a little more withdrawn and stylish Chardonnay. You're gonna love this wine if you haven't had it yet. Just remember, after that Sauvignon, make sure you kind of clear your palate somehow, all right? Maybe order the cheese platter so you can have a little morsel between the tastes. As you know, we always serve a wine by the glass or two, a glass of wines that are available only by the glass, and here are those 2 wines. This, I can imagine a French rabbit saying this a lot. The name of the winery actually really is Fouquet. La Fouquet, and I don't know, I've got bunnies on the brain, I guess, but this is beautiful Easter wine because of course it's pink, but it's also fresh. It just got here. This is the 2022 La Fouquet Provence Rosé. Gorgeous. You will want a whole glass of this. Don't complain about not being able to taste it. You'll want a glass. It's good, brand new, newly arrived dry rosé. Fouquet. We just got in 3 more cases today just to make sure we have enough for your Easter after we've shown enough of it up here at the wine bar. The other wine by the glass, let's remind you about that Washington event again by pouring a Washington State Merlot. I believe some of the best Merlot in the world comes, in fact, from Washington. And here's a great example. By the Long Shadows people, it's kind of like a second label for them called 9 Hats. 9 Hats Merlot, only available by the glass. Get back into Merlot, folks. Here's your red flight. And wine number 1 of the Easter Reds. We're proposing these are great for Easter because they have beautiful fruit qualities. And whether you're having ham or lamb, everybody's kind of like more into fruit-forward, fragrant, not so much the cabbie wines at Easter time, it seems. So here is a Beaujolais from Morgon. Morgon is the neighborhood. Beaujolais is the more general region. It's going to be made entirely of the grape called Gamay. We've shown it to you before. You've liked it. I still have some more downstairs, so let's bring it back upstairs. This is by Romuald Petit, and it's a Morgon 2021. Good stuff, 100% Gamay. a great way to start discreetly with a very fragrant flight. I think all of these wines actually would do very, very well in the Pinot Noir style glass. So you won't have to have a lot of glass switching for this flight, or any actually. This is a brand new wine that we've just brought in. In fact, we brought in 2 Pinot Noirs from the Willamette Valley of Oregon by J. Christopher. One wine in the fine print says basalt, and this one, as you can see, says volcanique, and those are references to where the respective grapes are being grown. In basalt soil, that's a mineral driven soil, and then this volcanic soil gives you a different effect. So I love them both. We can't put them both on the wine bar, but you'll be seeing both of them. This is volcanique, in other words, volcanic soil by J. Christopher. Beautiful Pinot Noir from the Willamette Valley of Oregon. Next up, from our old friend Pete Stoltman down there in Ballard Canyon of Santa Barbara County comes Stoltman's La Quadrilla. Kind of a hard wine to market every year because the label keeps changing, but they kind of like to have a different, kind of like baseball cards, or just a different signature label for every vintage of La Quadrilla. La Quadrilla, I should say. And this is going to be a blend of Syrah and Sangiovese and I think Grenache, but I don't have my reading glasses on. Anyway, it's delicious. It's very fragrant. It's also going to be super duper good in that big fat Pinot Noir glass. That's also great for Syrah-based wine. So La Quadrilla by our friends at Stoltman. The next wine, let's stay with fragrance. Let's keep promoting fruit. Even though this is bigger, it is fruit forward. This is not about oak and tannins. This is a very gentle, beautiful, rich, fruit-forward Barossa Valley, Australia, Shiraz from Torbreck, one of our favorite producers down under. And that is wine number 4. Wine number 5, the final wine on the flight, is a bit of a gear shift. I think it's automatically an Easter wine because there's flowers on the labels. It's automatically an Easter wine because we have a lot of it downstairs. It's not automatically an Easter wine because this is, in fact, somewhat tannic. What is it? It's Barolo. Barolo, or Barolo, is supposed to be tannic. That's the message. That feel of tannins or astringency is part of the deal with Barolo. But what you also get to smell, here's Easter again, dried flowers in the nose. Potpourri, how about that? So let's just say maybe you are braising something. Maybe you're braising rabbit on Easter. You can have Barolo that way. Let's just say this is a great value for the type. It's priced in the, I think it gets into the high 30s for Wine Club members with their discount. And it's a very, very nice Barolo, and also is accommodated by that big fat Pinot Noir glass. So the staff will thank us for not having to change glass shapes all the time for the different reds in this flight. The big fat Pinot Noir glass will work for all of these beautiful Easter reds. Thank you very much, you guys. Have a great Easter. Come on in beforehand and enjoy a glass with us upstairs. Get some of that burrata cheese while it lasts. And don't worry, we'll be reordering some more in a week or two, and we'll keep it in stock now for several months, at least until you have your tomatoes ready. How about that? Thank you again. Happy Easter. See you soon.